So in the previous sessions, we are discussing conjugate beam method. So in this session also, I'm going to continue the conjugate beam method. Okay. So we'll finish off the conjugate beam method. Okay. So here I'll taking the one particular problem statement. So you can see that problem statement. So here you need to determine the slope at C. So at this particular point you require to find theta and deflection at the midspan. Okay, exactly at the midpoint you need to find this the delta over at the midpoint. Okay, delta over at the midpoint. Okay, so mid. Please mute your audio. Yes, better. So Sonuraj, mute your audio. Okay, so these two things we need to find. Okay, so you can see that what type of beam it is. Simply supported beam. Okay, so at A support A you can find simple support, at B again you can find a simple support. Again loading here is UDL throughout the beam. So you can see that throughout the beam there is a UDL and it is subjected to UDL of intensity 20 kilonewton per meter square. Okay, 20 kilonewton per meter square, and very important that you need to find you need to see to that the change in EI. Okay, so from A to C, the span A to C is 2 meter, and you can see that the moment of inertia considered as I. Okay, and from C to D it is again 2 meter, but moment of inertia is 2I. Okay, and again from D to B again it is 2 meter, so the moment of inertia is I. Okay, and this problem can be write in this way also. Okay, so where you can see that the distances as well as load. Okay, here they are given in terms of not because of change in here, so they're given like this. Okay, you can expect this kind also. So here ultimately we need to find the theta C as well as delta at the midpoint. So these things we need to find. So in order to find here, so we are using conjugate beam method. Okay, so in case of in order to find conjugate beam method, what you require? You require BMD. Okay, so let me find out the BMD for this particular load. So in order to find bending moment, so you know that you're already familiar with these things, this kind of loads, right? If a beam subjected to UDL throughout the span, so then maximum bending moment will be equals to how much? Maximum bending moment equals to how much? Or intensity, if you consider as W and L as a span, the maximum intensity of the maximum bending moment will be exactly at the center. Okay, that will be equals to WL square by 8. Okay, and shear force will be something like this, linearly varying shear force. The maximum shear force will be WL by 2. Okay, so WL by 2. So here you can see that we got the maximum bending moment, so that is WL square by 8. So that is equals to W equals to 20 and L equals to 6 meter, 6 square divided by 8. So then the maximum bending moment at the midpoint, it is equals to 90 kilonewton per meter square. Okay, so again here in case of conjugate beam method you require to find we got this say with this we can write the bending moment diagram. So let me write the bending moment diagram. Okay, so parabolic varying right? So maximum bending moment will be at the exactly at the center. We got this. Okay. So next here, so we need to find delta theta at C. Okay. So that means so we need to find the moment over at this point also. Okay. So in order to find moment at this point C, at this point C, at this point C as well as at point D. So you need to find the reaction. Okay, so that is VA. Say for example, let me go over here. So we need to find one reaction, one reaction, say VA as well as VB. So because of UDL acting throughout the structure, okay, so the total load will be equals to W times of how much 6 meter. Okay, W times of 6 meter. So this will be your total load. So reaction, that is VA plus VB equals to total load divided by 2. So VA plus VB equals to total load. So then VA equals to VB because of symmetry. So then your reaction at VA or VB equals to total load divided by 2. Okay. So total load is 20 times of 6. So VA is calculated over here. So 20 times of 20 times of 6 divided by 2. So this is 120 divided by 2. So it is equals to 60 kilonewton. Okay. So again VA is equals to VB. So then VB again, that is equals to 60 kilonewton. Okay. So once you got the reaction over here, so you can easily find moment at C. So then how to find moment at C? So now we are finding moment at C. So consider bending moment at C. So in order to find bending moment at C, so you consider the load of this particular one. Okay. So here up to see what are the loads are acting from the left hand side. So VA is acting. So VA is a vertical load and perpendicular distance to reach C, it is equals to 2 meter. Okay. So again it is clockwise or anti-clockwise? Clockwise, right? So minus of this intensity remains same over here. So 20 kilonewton per meter. So minus 20 and minus 20 is the load intensity of length 2 meter. So then this particular load will be exactly acting at the center. Okay. So in order to consider the perpendicular distance, so half of this UDL. Okay. So that is 2 by 2. So VA equals to how much? 60 times of 2, it is equals to 120. So this 2 get cancelled. So here 40. Okay. So 120 minus 40, it is equals to 80 kilonewton meter. Okay. The same thing that I have shown over here. So 80, and the calculation that I have done over here. So 60 times of 2 minus 20 times of 2 times of 2 divided by 2, that is equals to 80. So now we got the moment at this point as well as at this particular point. So now any clarifications required related to finding the bending moment? Yes, any clarifications required? So related to how to find the bending moment? Yes. Yes, any clarifications required? Okay, so once you got the bending moment diagram and moment at required points, okay, so next this you need to write it in conjugate beam method. Okay, because in order to find theta as well as delta. So now let me consider conjugate beam method. So here load is nothing but area. Okay, load is nothing but area. And here in order to write the conjugate beam, so you need to consider M by EI. Okay, so now say at point A, so the moment will be equals to 0. So moment is 0. So then by EI is again 0. So next go to point C. So moment at point C. Yeah, fine. So moment at point C, it is 80. So 80 divided by EI. So here EI for AC span. So that is EI only. Okay. So that you can retain over here. Again come to CO span or CD span. Okay. So again at point D, at point C, you have M equals to 80 and E equals to 2 times of, sorry, E equals to E and I equals to 2 times of E. So then this will reduce to 40 by EI. Okay. So again at the same line, it is 40 by EI. Understood? So now again similarly at point O, M by EI at point O. So M equals to 90, M equals to 90 and E remains same, I equals to 2 times of I. Okay, so that is 45 by EI, 45 by EI. So that we have shown here. So this is 40, this is 45. Again, because of UDL, it is parabolic varying. Understood? So now at this point, we got around 45.45 by EI. Next, go to point C, point D. Again, here it is at point D. So the maximum moment will be equals to 80. So 80 divided by E remains E and I equals to 2 times of I. So then 40 by EI. Okay, 40 by EI. So next again similarly at point D only for dB span. So that is M by EI for dB span. Okay, so it is 80 and E remains E and I remains I. So then it is equals to 80 by EI that we have shown over here. And again at point B, so moment M is 0. So then M by EI equals to 0. So in this way, you can write the conjugate beam, and at point A as well as at point B, you have a simple support. When in case of conjugate beam, simple support in the real beam and conjugate beam in conjugate beam, so the same can be retained. Okay, the same can be retained. So next moving to this particular one. So later here we need to find the slope at C and as well as delta at O. So that means delta at O, that is midpoint. Okay, so delta at O or midpoint. At midpoint we have given a designation as O. Okay, given as a designation as O. So now let me find how to find the slope at C as well as delta at midpoint. Okay, so we know that slope in real beam, okay, that is slope in real beam, it is equals to shear force in what? Conjugate beam. Okay, slope in real beam is equals to shear force in conjugate beam. Please understand. Okay, so now in order to find the shear force, at point C, so we need to find shear force at this particular point to get theta C. Okay, so in order to find this, we require the reaction VA for the conjugate beam. Okay, so for the conjugate beam, so for that purpose, so we know already, so VA equals to VB because of symmetrical in symmetrically in loading. Okay, symmetrically in loading. If I consider this half of a part, it is as same as this half part. Okay, so it is symmetrical loading. So for that, so in order to make simplify the calculations, so we can easily find the reaction, that is the total load divided by 2. Okay, total load includes VA plus VB. So because of symmetry, VA equals to VB, so that is equals to total area by 2. Total area by 2. So then you find VA or VB. So both are same. So then you can just so the total load is the area of this triangle, sorry, area of this particular quadrant, area of this semicircle, okay, area of this semicircle, and area of this particular rectangle. Let me divide the number of standard shapes. So this is one particular quadrant, and this is one more particular quadrant, and these are two quadrants. Okay, 2, 3, say 4, say 5. Okay, so this can be considered as twice number of quadrant. Okay, so now divide by 2, so that is total load divided by 2. So that I have taken outside. Okay, 2 in number, so that means this particular one and this particular one. Okay, so this is 1 in number and this is 2 in number, having same intensity of moment. Okay, both are having same intensity of moment. So 2 in number, and the area of this particular quadrant is 2 by 3. Okay, 2 by 3 times of 2. So 2 is the AC span. Okay, 2 is the length of from A to C, times 80 is that is H. So here H is nothing but intensity of moment. Okay, H is the intensity of moment, plus area of this particular rectangle. Okay, area of this particular rectangle, so that is 2 meter. This is 1 meter, this is 1 meter, so totally it will be 2 meter. Okay, so times 40 by EI. So 40, so that is H, so that is we got over here. Okay, so 40 by EI plus 2 by 3. So 2 times of, so this is one particular quadrant and this is one more quadrant. So 2 times of, yeah, so 2 times of 2 by 3 into 5 by EI. So 5 by EI, so here it is 45. So the difference from here to here, it is 5 only. Okay, so the difference from here to here, it is 5 only. Please understand. Okay, so then if I simplify this, so the VA equals to 150 by EI. Okay, so this is the reaction we got for the conjugate beam. Okay, so we got a reaction of 150 by EI. So once you got this, so you can easily find slope at C. So slope at C in real beam equals to shear force at C in conjugate beam. So what are the forces that you need to consider? What are the forces that you need to consider? One is this particular VA we need to consider. This particular VA we need to consider, and the area of this particular portion. Okay, so here load equals to area, so shear force, so that is VA equals to 50 times 50 by EI minus, so why minus? This is acting downward. Okay, so acting downward, so minus, and area of this particular portion, that is 2 by 3 times of 80 by EI. So minus of, so 150 by EI minus of this particular portion, that is 2 by 3 times of 2 into 80 by EI. Understood? So then you can simplify this. You can get the theta at C. So that is equals to 43.33 divided by EI. So 43.33 divided by EI. So next you can find theta at O. So this is not required to find, but so we have calculated this. So then how to find theta at midpoint? That means slope at this particular portion. Okay. So then how to find the slope at this particular portion, that is theta O. Okay. So in order to find theta O in the real beam, so that is equals to shear force at O. So that means, so the load that you need to consider from A to O. Understood? What are the loads? One is VA is acting, so that we got around 150 by EI, and here, so this area, okay, this area we need to consider as load in case of conjugate beam. So this particular area we need to consider, and this area of quadrant that we need to consider, and this small rectangle that we need to consider. Okay, there are three areas we need to consider as load. Okay, so this is acting upward, so positive, so that is VA, so that is 150 by EI, so minus of the area of the quadrant, bigger quadrant, that is 2 by 3 times of 20 times of 80 by EI, minus of area of rectangle. Okay, so area of rectangle, so here, so from C to O the distance is 1 meter. From C to O the distance is 1 meter, and intensity of the moment is, for the rectangle, is 40 EI. Okay, so 40 EI, so that is 1 times of 40 by EI. Similar way, so the above quadrant, small quadrants, the area of that particular quadrant, that is 2 by 3 times of 1 times of 5 by EI. So then it is equals to, so if you just simplify this, it will be equals to 0. So we have discussed one particular thing. So what is that? So wherever the delta is max, please understand, wherever the delta is max, so theta remains as 0. Theta remains as 0. So that we have discussed while doing the moment area method. You please recall that. So we have considered, we have assumed one particular thing. So wherever you are having the theta max, okay, so sorry, delta max, in that point, okay, will theta will be equals to 0. At that particular point, theta will be 0. So we are finding the maximum delta at the midpoint. So at that same point, okay, at that same point, theta will be equals to 0. Okay, so in moment area method, this particular one we have assumed, you just recall that. So in order to find the maximum delta, so we are considering a section, so as x. Okay, so theta x we are considering as 0. You just try to remember that. Okay, so why it is 0? So at that particular point where delta will be maximum, okay, so it is proved now. Understood. So now coming to the second unknown that we need to find. The second unknown that we need to find is delta at midpoint, or say delta at O. So we know that deflection in real beam is equals to bending moment in conjugate beam. Okay, bending moment in conjugate beam. So bending moment at O, so that is, you need to consider moment up to O point. Okay, so moment at O. So we already know that. So what are the loads? So this is one particular load, and this area as considered as one more load, and this small quadrant, and this particular rectangle. Okay. So and distance is the centroid distance of this particular area to point O. Okay. So that will be your perpendicular distance. Okay. So your centroid distance from each area to point O will be considered as, okay, will be considered as the perpendicular distance. Okay, so then we need to find the delta at, so we need to find delta at O, so that is equals to bending moment at O. Let me find bending moment at O. So then how to find this bending moment at O? Say delta at O, so that is equals to bending moment at O. So what are the forces are acting up to O? So VA is acting, so VA is a force, and perpendicular distance to reach O, it is 2 meter plus 1 meter. Okay, so times of 3. So what is VA? So VA we already know, so that is 150 by EI. So this is acting clockwise, right? So this is rotating towards O as clockwise. Okay, so minus of, why minus? This is rotating anti-clockwise, this particular area. So what is the area? What is the area of this particular portion? So that is 2 by 3 times of 2 times 80 by EI. Okay, so what is the centroid distance? So centroid distance, higher the intensity, lower will be centroid distance. That is 2 by 3 by, you can just look at over here. So 3 by 8, 3 by 8. Understood? So higher the intensity, lower will be centroid distance. That is 3 by 8. So lower the intensity, higher will be centroid distance. That is 5 by 8. Please remember this standard center of gravity. So that is 3 by 8 times of 2 meter plus 1 meter. Okay, so plus 1. So again going for this particular quadrant, so minus of the area will be 2 by 3 times of the intensity of this particular quadrant. Okay, so that is 5 times of, and the length, that is b equals to 1, and centroid distance, so higher the centroid distance, lower will be so higher the intensity, lower will be centroid distance. That is 3 by 8 times of 1. Okay, so next go for this particular rectangle. So minus of 1 times of, so what is the intensity of the moment? 40 by EI. Okay, and again 1 by 2. So the centroid distance from here to here, it is half. So that same values that you can see over here. So 150 by EI times 3. So that is VA times of 3, and 2 by 3 times of 2 times of 80 is the area of that bigger quadrant, and centroid distance is 3 by 8 times of 2 plus 1 meter. Okay, so minus of the area of this rectangle, 1 times of 40 divided by EI, and centroid distance. Okay, so that is 1 by 2, can be written as half. So minus of, again next quadrant, that is 2 by 3 times of 1 times of 5 by EI. Okay, so that is again the centroid distance is, the higher the intensity of the area, lower will be the centroid distance. That is 3 by 8 times of 1. Okay, so if I simplify that, so you'll get a maximum delta at O, so that is equals to 242.08. So then how we come to know the maximum bending moment exactly at the center? Because this is uniformly acting. So, okay, the load is uniformly acting throughout the structure. Okay, the maximum moment, maximum deflection exactly will be at the center. Understood? The maximum moment will be exactly at the center. Now tell me any clarifications that you require. Yes, any clarifications that you require?
No, sir.
Yes. Okay. So many have attended, only 22 are attended. Okay, so going to the next and final problem statement related to conjugate beam method. So again, so your main aim is to find the slope as well as deflection at the free end. So free end is at point D. Okay, so that means theta D we need to find and delta D we need to find. So this is the real beam. So let me read the real beam. What are the things they are given? So at A you have a simple support, at C you have a simple support, at D there is no support but there is a load of 5 kilonewton is acting, and between A and C you have a point load of 20 kilonewton is acting, right? And there is no uh, change in EI. Okay, so EI they are not mentioned, so that means that EI remains same over the EI you can consider as constant. Okay, so EI remains the same throughout the structure. Understood? So now here, so here we need to find the slope as well as deflection by using conjugate beam method. So conjugate beam method means what you require? You require BMD. Okay, just try to find try to write the BMD. So this is not the standard case where you can directly get the BMD. So in that case, what you need to do? You need to calculate the reactions. So then how to calculate the reactions? So use equations of equilibrium. So that is summation V equals to 0. So that is VA plus VC. Okay. So that is equals to total load. Total load is 20 kilonewton plus one more is 5 kilonewton. So totally it is 25 kilonewton. So next, so in order to find one unknown, so what you need to do? So you need to consider moment at any point. Say for example, moment at C. So moment at C, we can consider moment at C that you can consider. So that is from the left hand side, what are the loads are acting? So VA is acting. So VA is a force to reach C. Okay, what is the perpendicular distance? 4 meter. So minus 20 is the load acting at point B to reach C. The perpendicular distance is 2 meter. Okay, equals to 0. So VA equals to, and you have a one more load, so that is 5 into this particular one. Okay, just check the load. Yeah, yes, so this particular one we are missing. Yes, so a 5 kilonewton is acting at point D. Okay, so if I consider the moment of this particular load to point C, so this will be rotating as clockwise. So plus 5 into 2. Okay, to reach C you require a distance of perpendicular distance of 2 meter for this particular point load. Okay, so then you can simplify this. So 2 times of 2 times of 20, 40. So minus 40 plus 10, so that is equals to 30. If I consider towards RHS, it will be plus 30 divided by 4, it will be equals to 7.5. So VA equals to 7.5 kilonewton. Okay, then VC equals to, okay, if I just substitute over here, so VC that will be can be finded as 17.5 kilonewton. Okay, the same thing that you can see over here. So VA we got, VC we got. Okay, so once we got the reaction, so then you can easily find the bending moments at different point. So let me find the bending moment at different point. So bending moment at A, so there is no load is acting a point, a VA is acting, but to reach A perpendicular distance is 0 because VA is acting at point A only. Okay, so then moment at A it is 0. So then moment at B, so moment at B, so let me consider moment at B. So VA is acting, so up to here. So which are the loads are acting? VA is acting, right? So VA to reach B perpendicular distance is 2 meter. So 7.5 times of 2, it is equals to 15 kilonewton meter. Okay, and this point load is acting, so this is linearly varying, please understand. So next move to point C. So again moment at C. So up to C, you can see that a VA is acting and this 20 kilonewton is acting. So VA is a force acting vertically. To reach perpendicular distance, you require to reach to reach C, the perpendicular distance is 4 meter, and you just check the rotation of this particular point load, it is clockwise. Okay, so positive 7.5 times of 4, so minus of, so why minus? This particular load to reach C, it is rotating in anti-clockwise, so minus 20, and minus 20 is the force to reach C, the perpendicular distance required is 2 meter. Okay, so it is minus 40 equals to if you just simplify this, you will get in terms of minus, so that is minus 10. Understood? So 7.5 times of 4, it is equals to 30, right? So minus 40, so then it is equals to minus 10 kilonewton. So minus 10 kilonewton, so minus I have mentioned over here, so there will be a change in the mean. Okay, so this can be drawn over here. So next, moment at D. Moment at D, similar way, there is a point load, VA is acting, so VA into 4 to reach D perpendicular distance is 6 meter, so minus of 20 times of 4. Again we have a VC, so VC, so that is plus VC, because this rotation of this particular load will be clockwise, so VC times of 2 meter to reach D. So then, and this particular load is acting at the same point, the moment will be perpendicular distance will be 0, so then this load cannot be considered. Okay, so then if I just calculate this, so this will be equals to 0, that means moment at D so equals to 0. So now we got this particular bending moment diagram. So here we need to find the distance from here to here. So for that case, so we know the distance from here to here, it is 2 meter. Okay, so this distance you can consider as x. Okay, so then this distance will be considered as how much? So 2 minus x. Okay, so by using similar triangle, okay, so by using similar triangle, so this is one particular triangle and this is one more particular triangle. So by using the concept of similar triangle, you can find this x value and you can find this 2 minus x value. Okay, so 15 by x and 10 by 2 minus x. Okay, so if I just simplify this, so you can get the x value equals to 1.2 meter. So then 2 minus x, it is 0.8 meter, so that we got it over here. Okay, 0.8 meter here, and this is 1.2 meter here. Okay, because we need to consider the area of the triangle. So for that we require the base of this particular triangle. Okay, so for that reason we are finding this value. So for in order to find the area of this particular triangle, so we require the base of this triangle. So in order to find that, we can use a similar triangle concept. So where you can find this unknown from the point of contraflexure to B, and from the point of contraflexure to the maximum moment at C. Understood? So by this way you can find the bending moment diagram. So any clarifications required? So related to find the bending moment diagram? Is any clarifications required?
No, sir.
Okay. No, sir.
Okay, only 24 are attended, right? Okay, so this is the maximum strength that I have seen till now. Okay, so try to maintain the same kind of presence in these sessions. Okay, so it will be good for the to attend second day, otherwise you will lose the second day also. Okay, so yes, 220, right? So another 5 minutes left. So let me discuss how to write the conjugate beam method. These things we'll discuss in the coming session. Okay, this will take a few minutes. I cannot cover this particular things. Okay, so let me discuss this conjugate, how to write the conjugate beam. So we'll end this session. So now once we got the bending moment diagram, so we can easily write the conjugate beam. So we know that in case of so in case of this is real beam, right? Yes. So this is real beam. So in case of real beam, so if you are having a simple support, in case of conjugate beam, so this is also simple support. Okay. So where in case of free end in the real beam, so where in case of conjugate beam it is fixed end. Okay. So and you can see that this particular support, simple support. Okay. So this will become a inch support. Okay. So it will become an inch in case of conjugate beam, right? So these modifications that you need to do, and here the same bending moment diagram that you can write it. So M by EI. So and we see that you just look at the problem statement. EI is constant. There is no change in EI. So you should be you should thank God, okay, when EA is constant, where in case of conjugate beam, but you cannot expect the same in the examination. Definitely you can expect there is a change in EI problem statement only. Okay, so here the maximum moment at this particular point is 15, so 15 by EI. So where in this particular case at point C it is 10, so 10 by EI. Okay, so like this you can write the bending moment conjugate beam method, and this is acting downward because it is positive, right? And here the moment we got it is minus, so this will be acting upward. Please, so these variations that you need to be very careful. Okay, so these variations, if I consider towards down, then it is wrong. Okay, so we'll see how to find the delta C as well as theta C in the coming session. Okay, so I cannot cover all these things in 1 or 2 minutes, so it will take few minutes time to cover. Okay, I cannot continue after 2:20. So we'll continue these things, we'll discuss these things in the coming session. Okay, so any clarifications that you require? So whatever that we have discussed in this present session. Yes, any clarifications required?
No, sir.
Okay, so let me take the snapshot of the attendance. You can leave the session. Okay, so with this I'm going to end this session. I hope this session was useful. Thank you for attending. Okay.